Hello traders around the world, welcome back to another video. Today is Sunday morning, the 8th of March 2020. Oh yeah, before I start, there is a lot of things going on with this coronavirus, and one of the things is people are panic buying. They are panicking, so they are buying stuff. I work for one of the supermarket. It's called Aldi. I work in their warehouse, and we have been told that it's going to get busier and busier for the next 1 month. So maybe Wednesdays I might not be able to do the Wednesday reviews because I'm doing double shift basically. The stores are demanding a lot of stuff, and we need to work double shift to be able to meet the demand. And I might be working sometimes during my off days, so it's going to affect me physically because I'm very tired. You can tell from my voice. Yeah, the coronavirus is spreading, and people are scared, so they're buying stuff just in case stores get shut down. So if you're not doing anything about it, maybe you should start thinking about it, because what's gonna happen is, this is just on top of my head, if the warehouses where, like for example where I work is a massive warehouse, if it gets shut down because of the virus, because some people get the virus in there, the supermarkets or the actual stores will not get their products, and if they don't get their products, then people are not going to get stuff to buy. So that's why people are buying right now. Okay, I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but it can happen, because in China they shut down everything, or in Italy, there's a town in Italy where the stores are actually not opening. So if you don't have food in your house, you're gonna struggle. Okay, so that's what's going on right now. Let's jump on to the chart. I gave these two levels last week for price to reach for them. Price didn't do that. The gap down, went up and stayed sideways. So basically that's the entire week. That's the high and that's the low of the week. We stayed there, and kind of weird price action going on here. So it's nothing to say about this. We are in a sideways market. We are making higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we made a higher high, we made a lower low, but this low is just a wick, so this is just a random stop. So I personally would like to see how we trade out of this. Are we gonna trade outside, up, or we're gonna trade down? Whichever direction it goes, then I know what to do. For now, it's not unclear, or it's not clear to me what price is trying to do. If we look at the weekly indicates that we need to come down at least to this level. Okay, we need to come down to at least that level. So if we do get here, that'll be enough for me, and then I'll see how we trade from here. But once we trade below this low, I don't think this will be enough. They're gonna try and come down here and there. So I'll see I'll see how we trade Monday, Tuesday, and see what they're trying to do. And again, when I say they, I'm talking about the dynamic traders, the guys who actually have money to move this market around. Those are the day I'm talking about. This did the same thing. This yen pair did the same thing as the other one. If you jump onto the daily, we got down, went back up, closed, and then for the rest of the week it stayed within that range. So nothing to say about this really. And one of the things you have to pay attention to, or one of the things I've come to realize, is anytime the market gives a very good run, okay, when it gives a very good run, after that run you need to be really careful, because when they do run like this quickly, it's either price is gonna pause because people will now see, or the general public or the retail traders will now see that this is dropping, okay, or this is rallying. So they will now see, and then they will try to get in, because when it's up here they are not interested in selling, they are interested in buying because the trend is up. Okay, when it drops down they are too scared to buy, or they are too scared to sell, because most of the most of the traders would like to go long as price is dropping here. Now that it expands down, now everybody has seen, oh, this is going down, and so they're trying to get in, and then once you get in, price stops, it doesn't move. Okay, so after a very good run you need to be very careful, because they're either gonna stop price and go sideways, or they're gonna retrace, and that's what gets people most of the time on the wrong side of the market. So we stop and then retrace, and then as it's retracing they will try to sell it because they missed all this move, and then they will keep going up until they can't take it anymore, and then they will sink it back down again, or they will do what they've just done, say start sideways. So if you look on your chart, after a very good run, is either price gonna retrace or it's gonna go sideways. Yeah, so very good run, sideways, very good run, retrace, good run, sideways, good run, retrace. Yeah, that's how they move this market, because they don't want you to catch it. If you have a good system to catch these moves, the advice is take most of your profit off when you when it pauses. Okay, takes most of your profit off, because you don't know what they're going to do next. But with that said, do I think we're gonna come here? I personally think it should drop down here before, if you want to go up, then it does that, because we've dropped and we've gone sideways. The sideways means that they're pairing up orders, or they are trying to get people to jump on board and then drive the price again. So it's trying to encourage dumb money into the market and then drive it again. So we paused here. Where is it gonna go? I personally think it should come down here, and if it does come down here, then I'll consider and move higher. So going in this week, where will I think price is gonna go? I personally think it might come down here, and probably in here as well. Let's have a look at the weekly. Have a good look at it. Yeah. So in the weekly, this demand zone here, and that's what I think it will do. It will come here before going up. So I'm looking at something like this. Okay, and then I move back up for a retracement. That's what I'm looking for. So let's get rid of that. So that's what I'm looking for in this pair right now. I'm not gonna do much, a lot of pairs today. I'll stick with this for next week, and I'll probably take away the EURAUD because it's not giving me anything for now. But generally we'll stick with this, and then I'll see what else I can look at. So the Euro Pound, we had a very good run, and again, like I just explained, a very good run. Everybody now sees this going up. Okay, we are not going up anymore. Okay, we retrace, and from what has been placed in, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The entire range is here. I think with this consolidation, there is going to be either one or the other. So either we push higher or we retrace and then push higher. One of them is going to happen. Of course, one of them is going to happen. But how do you know where? I'm watching this and watching that. I'm watching these two levels. If we trade above here, then we're going up. If we trade below here, then we'll be coming down for a retracement. It's as simple as that. I am going to do about 10 minutes psychology, once I finish this. And yeah, so if you trade below here, we will be coming down for retracement. So I'll be looking at this blue line, not blue line, go into the weekly and look at it properly. Yeah, I'll be looking at that blue line in here. If we trade below here, I'll be looking at that blue line for a retracement here. If we trade above there, then my eye goes pop right in here. Yeah, so these are the two levels outside. Once we trade outside one of these, that's where I'm looking at. Okay, next one. Last week I was expecting this to continue going down. We didn't get that, and that's one of the psychology things I wanted to talk about. How do you react when price doesn't do according to what you expect it to do? I'm gonna come back to that. Okay, so we didn't get the continuation to the downside, we just got an up movement. So what am I expecting price to do now? We had, so this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So Monday we had a very good drop, and then Tuesday we changed direction. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday continue going up. This is due to weakness in the CAD. I was expecting CAD to be strong, but again, I think I'm missing it by a week again. So just like I missed this by a week with all these down candles, I think I'm missing this by a week. So if we do have this move up, it could be, it could be something like this. So the opposite, it could be something like this and then down. Okay, I said it could be, but for now what is in the market is what I am going to trade. So I have these two levels as my next upside objective. So looking at this level is probably right there. So maybe we gap up and then we hit this straight away, and then I'll be looking at that level as well. Okay, these are the two levels I can see right now price will hit. Okay, we do have equal highs above here. That's extreme. If the pound gets very strong and this does retrace to the level that I'm saying it's gonna do, then I'll be looking for more upside objective. These red levels will be what I'll be looking for as profit targets for this week. What I'm confident with is these two. Okay, if that euro pound keeps dropping, then I'll look for a continuation to the upside on this. So what if we don't get that? Because we've come above this high, what if we don't get that? I'll see how we trade back down. Okay, if we open and we come straight back down and close below this low, okay, then my attention comes back to the downside, because I don't think remember, they will send price up before they will send it down. So if they are sending it up and they don't continue and we have one down candle, I'll use this as an example. Okay, we have this up movement and we have one down candle. Once we do that, immediately my eyes start looking at this up candle as or this up candle as manipulation. Therefore they're going to go down. Okay, so if we do get a down candle, again I'm doing some teachings which I don't want to. Right, so if we do get a down candle, okay, then my eyes comes right back to these targets that I talked about, because if they're gonna go up, they should continue going up. They don't need to come back down again. With that said, these are the targets I'm looking. Until it changes, then I will change my bias, but for now these are the levels I'm looking at. Let's look at the pound as well. The pound also did similar to the pound CAD. So this is the pound dollar. We did have Monday. If you don't know what an inside candle is, this is an inside candle. So the high and low is within the previous days high and low. That's called an inside candle. Usually when you see an inside candle, it means that there's manipulation going on. They're either gonna send price like you see it, so it's gonna go one way or one way. I was expecting that way, not that way, but we didn't get that. The guys with big money decided to send price up. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, important is recognizing what price is doing. Let's take that one. I'll leave that one on. With this one, I'm looking at these two levels. Okay, with a high degree of probability this equal high being hit. So it's still a lot of pips. Let's drop down to one now. It's not a lot of pips to go. It's about 25 pips, and probably it will run about 10 pips above it. So 35 pips, that's good enough for some profit taking. So that's a high probability trade that we're gonna run this equal highs. Okay, and then the continuation to these two levels, go back to the daily, the continuation to these two levels. Okay, so I'm looking at these two levels for upside objective, and like I said, this could be a manipulation and we could just sink back down. Okay, another example is here. We have 1, 2, price going up very nicely, and then all of a sudden, boom, we trade below the 2 up candles, and then it continues going down. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but it's a possibility. So if I start seeing that, then my attention jumps back to the profit targets I had on for last week. But for now, this is what we have in the market, so we go with this. When we were down here, what was in the market? Downside. So we had a downside view since Friday. Okay, this candle, because we've gone above a swing high. Okay, so we were making lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we were expecting a lower high and then another lower low, but we have a higher high. So when market is going up, it makes high high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and that business. So we failed to make a lower high, so we could potentially see a continuation to the upside. So how far? I'm looking at 1, 2, but with a high probability this will hit probably tonight. Okay, market open, will probably gap up there. Right, so that's what I'm looking for on this pace. And the review is we didn't get what we expected, so we just have to trade what we see on the inside price action. So I think I've done what I need to do for, or I should have done for Wednesday. So let's see what this week is in store for us. I've given a few of them, which is these two levels, those two levels, these two levels. Okay, if we trade above here, look here. If we trade below here, look there. Okay, this one I'm gonna wait and see how we trade, and that one I'm gonna see how we trade on Monday, Tuesday. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about psychology. Probably I should do a separate video for that. I think that would be a good idea. Let's look at other pairs, and then I'll do a separate video for the psychology. So usually I have my weekly analysis here, and then I'll go into all the other pairs. So let's have a look. Let's look at New Zealand CAD. Let's look at the weekly. We have an impulse and retracement. If you're trading the crossbars, you really need to look at the futures of these currencies. So this is the euro. This is not the euro USD. This is euro. This is the British pound. That is the Japanese yen. That is the Australian dollar. Sorry, Australian dollar. That's the Canadian dollar. That's the Swiss. Okay, that's the New Zealand, and that's the dollar itself. If you're trading these prospects, you need to seriously look at these. If you're not looking at them, chances are you miss the moves that are happening right now. Okay, that's what I do, and I hide it, but I'm just giving you a clue as to how I find these trades. Okay, one of them is looking at this looking at these futures of the currencies. Okay, so if you're not, have a look at them and you'll be surprised what you can find in there. So let's jump back onto here and let's look at New Zealand. Again, I think these equal highs will be in the cards. Yeah, those equal highs will be in the cards. I will love to see how we trade on Monday. We have a continuation up, okay, or a series of up candles. Now, what you're going to learn from me is that when you see something like this, usually, let's go back in price, and that's how I learn. Okay, this is how you learn. Once you finish watching this, watch my psychology video part 1 and the part 2 I'll do today. Okay, this is how I learn. When I see up, price going up without no, so usually you see, let me change this because this is my default setting. That's how I like seeing my price, my bearish and bullish price levels or price candles. Let's see if I can change it. There we go. Okay, so this is green usually, and those are red, but I like to see them white and black. That's how I see them. That's what I've always done. Okay, so when you see continuation to one side, that's big money in the market. So I'm very cautious when I see that. Why? There are times in the market that this will be just a manipulation to send price down. Okay, and then the opposite is true for this, how they drive price down and then send it back up. Okay, this is how I learn. That's how I do just raw chart, because indicators will give you different signals during this period, and that's where this is the period a lot of people lose money. Okay, in here a lot of people lose money. Why? Because the indicators will be flashing divergence. Let's put the RSI on here, and then you see what I'm talking about. Okay, in here, we'll use this one. So we have price making lower low, this making a higher low. Okay, it does give you a pullback, but then ultimately drives back down. and makes a lower low. Now this has made a lower high, and that has made a lower low. So now they'll get joy here, but they will be scared to buy this. Why? Who wants to buy this? No one. But that's the one that you need to be buying. Okay, that's why I'm cautious when I see movements like this. When I see movements like that, I'm suspicious. So going forward, when you see things like that, be cautious. So what I'm trying to drive to is this. Okay, I'm cautious. Why? Because this could just be something like that they're trying to do and send it back down. Okay, so be cautious when you see things like that. Don't buy into them. Okay, let it establish and then go in and do your business. So when you see this, don't join it. If you are not in here, don't join it, because this can easily snap against you. You can do it in here because in here is just free movement, but when it's traveled a lot, okay, this has traveled a lot, so they could be just trying to draw people in again and then sinking. Yeah, so don't do that. So on this one, I'll be really careful because I don't see this right now. So it could be just come up here with another green candle and then drive it back down. So be careful. Let's go on to this one. Similar movements. I'm trying to see what pair I can use. That's another one, and then down. There we go. Something like this. Okay, this is how I'm learning. See, it's going up. We get excited, you buy it, and then it goes against you. So this is how I learn. This is how I'm learning that. Okay, because you have to test it to make sure it's what you're seeing. So what you're seeing is exactly what happens in the market, because you get in here, no one wants to buy it. As it's going up, everybody wants to join it and they'll snap against you. Okay, so don't do this. Okay, but learn it, do it, and see that it's really what is happening in the market. Then you really understand. When you see them, you'll be cautious, and then you will know what to do. Because as soon as this happens, you know what they're trying to do. Well, I know what they're trying to do. Jump onto another pair. Okay, the one I'm interested in is this one here. Again, I need to go back to the way I see my chart, because this is confusing. I don't like the green and red. It doesn't make sense to me. But all this could be fake movement to the upside, yeah, and we could see price drop. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but it's a possibility. So what I was waiting for this week was this low. I wanted the very last one. Remove everything. I wanted to see this last up candle, the low, to be taken out. Okay, so as soon as that low was taken out, then I'll know that all this up movement was fake, and they're gonna send it back down in here. But we didn't get that. We stayed sideways, so I'm patiently waiting to see how this is gonna pan out. If we do trade above Friday's high, okay, if we trade above Friday's high, forget the down movement. This is gonna tear up. Okay, this is gonna tear up because when they pick a position, they're not going to put all the money in this particular move. They will have to pause, gather more or pair more orders up, and then take it, continue going up. So the fact that we've paused, okay, means that they are trying to gather more orders and continue going up. Because if this was to come down, they should they should have just dropped and closed below here and then continues into the downside. The fact that we paused, pairing up more orders above here, because there will be lots of liquidity sitting above here, so pairing up those orders and then continue going up. Alright, so I would like to see how we trade Monday, Tuesday. As soon as we trade above this high, boy, this is gonna continue going up. Okay, and how high? Usually I'll take this whole up movement and I'll just duplicate it here, but I'm not gonna take entirely all of that. I'll probably divide it into 3. I'll divide it into 3 and be content with 2. Okay, so I'll be happy with 2. So once we hit this, hit that, then I'm done. I'll leave the rest for the chases. Okay, so I'll be looking at something like this. So that's a bit of a nugget for you. Okay, so I'll be looking at this pair. This is the only one I'm interested in. The rest, they could be traps. This can be a trap to go down. So I'll see how we trade. Similar to that. This is just dropping. It might continue dropping to that low. It's almost there. Seriously need to get back to the black and white because this is not for me. I'll do it after. I'll do it after. Okay, so I know today's video is not the best, but forgive me because I am mentally drained. My job has drained my strength, and it's once you're physically tired, psychologically you just want to rest. So my mind is calling for me to go and rest. Okay, so sorry for this video. I'll produce better quality one next week. Alright, I think there are other pairs that I don't have on here that are moving very nice. One of them is the GBP. Yeah, that went down very nice last week, and then we stayed sideways. GBP and ZD, another sideways market. A nice movement to the downside. Okay, let me stop here and then just go with the few that I gave. This one, okay, and in addition, let me take this one off. In addition, add, okay, so this is the one to look because it's paused. Okay, we've paused, so we look for continuation up, or if you trade below this down up candle, and look for a short to come all the way back down. Okay, if you don't believe me, just go through your chart, you see what I'm talking about. All right, I've passed 40 minutes and that's not my intention, so I'm gonna end here, and I'll do the psychology video because that's the one you need. All right, so up to then, trade safe, don't risk too much because of the coronavirus, and stay blessed.